Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is stock trade ideas for the week of January 26th. Today is Sunday, January 25th, and we're going to take a look at 4 trade ideas. Several we've already been in, and then one I got into on Friday on Apple. Start off here with GLD, the SPDR Gold Shares ETF. All right, this is one where I think that correction that it's been undergoing since 2011 is I think complete. And you know, we've got these downward trending channel that this has been in, and it's broken out of that channel in this last wave up here. Actually, if I extend this down further, if I can, I'm not sure if I can get up. There we go. Extend to the right, you can see how it broke up through it here. I do think we've got also, from a technical standpoint, a head and shoulders that we're working. So therefore, if the low point is here, and this was the end of the corrective action, I'm counting a first wave leading diagonal, wave 2 pullback, retrace fairly deep. And now we've got this, what I think is a minor wave 3 to the high side. And it's acting like a wave 3. It's, you know, strong, got gaps in it. It's going straight up, which is typical of the kind of action that you see in a wave 3. So we got in on this day. We took, I think, half our profits here, and we're sitting on with the remaining half of the option contracts. And right now, I'm just trying to ride this as far as I can possibly ride it. And we'll see where she goes. You know, I've got some projections and some details, targets where I think it may be going. Got details of all of these trade ideas on the Trade Ideas webpage on the website. You need to be a subscriber to access it for the details, and that's easy to do. Just first name and email to go ahead and subscribe, and so you can gain access. So we'll go ahead, and right now we're continuing to track this. We'll see if this can push higher. Silver Wheaton is a similar type situation, except Silver Wheaton doesn't have a clear head and shoulders type bottom, in my opinion. You kind of see some kind of bottoming action in here. You could draw a trend line. I just don't like the way it looks. It doesn't look symmetrical enough for me. But I do like, you know, the move that's undergoing here. And we got in on this day here with the trade idea. And let me back out of this for a minute. Again, you can see the corrective action that it's breaking out of this trend line, downward trend line. It actually hasn't broken it yet. But, you know, I like the way this move is rolled on up through here. Now, we've taken half of the profits at this point, and I can't remember which day. It might have been here or here. So right now, basically, we're sitting on the second half of the position. And again, just like on GLD, we're seeing how far we can ride this move. And right now, it's trending very nicely. Let me see what the ADX is saying. ADX is at 23, so it's greater than 20, and it's rising. Let me go back to GLD. I'm curious what the ADX is on that. ADX is 24. And rising, so that's nice. You know, it's starting to get fairly strong trending action. Okay, now I want to take a look at VipShop, VIPS. Okay, VIPS. Okay, I think VipShop, let's back on out of this. I think it had a big move to the upside here. And I took off the semi-log, so this is an arithmetic scale right now. And so you can see the big move that was had, and this actually went through, I think it was a 10-for-1 split or something like that. It was, you know, this had gotten up over 200 and then did a 10-for-1 split. I can't remember exactly when it did it. But anyway, I do think that right now we've had 5 waves up and that we've undergone some kind of correction. This looks like a running flat to me. That's why I've got this ABC like this. And so when we zoom in, you know, the fact we have this trend line, I like the way the moving averages have crossed here. Now the long term, 55 is above the 233. The 21's below the 55, but I'm thinking the short term move here is starting to pull it up. I like the way this is breaking up now. We actually got in on this day. And, you know, again, this is a nice one. I think we're going to get a nice little swing move out of it. So we'll see what happens. And we'll see how far it wants to go. All right, so that's one we're in for the move, and I think it's going to at least go up here and retest this high and probably surpass it. Okay, now I'm going to take a look at Apple. Okay, there's several things going on here with Apple. Got in on Friday as this started to push higher above this 2-day move here. Got a couple closes above the 10-day exponential moving average. It's pulling up, and it broke this trend line, which I really liked. I like this fact that it broke the trend line. I had actually been looking for this to come down and close this gap on a pullback. We were tracking a wave 4, okay, intermediate wave 4. Let me step back and show you what we're looking at. Okay, so from this point here, I call this the 0 point, is when the previous pullback bottomed. And then we've been tracking this first intermediate wave 1 here, which was like a leading diagonal again. This was a little confusing at first, but then it started to make itself clear, and especially with this move back up in here. But we've got 1, 2, nice strong third wave. You can see the gaps in the move starting to go vertical on moves, vertical here. And this third wave came up here, and that was in November, late November. So now we've got this trend channel, this impulse channel, okay? Parallel lines, and looking, you know, from the top of 1 to 3, and then, boy, I had to get some water there. Hopefully that helps. Anyway, the top of 1 to 3, and then coming back to the bottom of 2, and having a parallel line would project where I think intermediate wave 4 would bottom. Well, this is where we're getting touch points in here, okay? So that's what's also making me think that there's a good chance that this is starting to bottom out in this area. Now, we've actually had 2 touch points, so we'll see. You know, I can make the case for A, B, C, and now we're starting to push 1, 2, and a 3 into a third wave up, okay? And, you know, ideally, I don't know if it's going to push that far or not, you go to the top of the trend channel for a wave 5. Now, I do think this is the 5th intermediate wave of a 5th primary wave, so this could be the last hurrah for a while on Apple, but we'll see. We'll have to see how this wave plays out. So we got in on this day, and it seemed like there was something else I was going to mention about this. What was it? Oh, I know what it was. Okay, so we got earnings coming out on Tuesday. And, you know, it's like, okay, you know, I'm going with what the stock is telling me in the little bit of a breakout. And I look back to January of last year, and it's interesting that it was in a similar corrective type mode. This was coming off of this wave 1, correcting wave 2. Well, here was the earnings release, okay, on the 27th, and it gapped down. So, you know, you look at that and say, well, wow, that, you know, could that happen again now? Yeah, I get it could happen. But I look in here, and I never got the signal that I got here over the last couple of days. So I never got the signal. It never broke a trend line, you know, coming down from the top, from this pivot point, and then, you know, we actually had 3 little pivot points. And so I look at this and I'm saying, well, you know, I'm seeing trend line coming down from the top, and we're breaking out. And we're getting the closes above the 10 and the breaking of the 2-day high that I like to see. And we didn't get that back in January. So we'll see whether or not that makes a difference. And hopefully it will. Anyway, boy, I'm having a problem with my voice here this morning, so I apologize. Okay, so that's the scenario for Apple, and we'll look to see. And that's it for today. If you felt like the video was helpful, please share it. If you're not a subscriber, just click on the red box here on the screen and subscribe. So remember, stay focused, follow your plan, and trade without fear. Have a great Monday, Tuesday, everyone. I'll be back Tuesday night.